A religious spirit is deceptive, and it engages with people who have a form of godliness but deny the power. 2 Timothy 3:5. This deception is so strong among religious folk that we are warned to stay away from them. Now, I'm not against religion, by the way, because we're Christian. We have a religion. We don't need to have a religious spirit. There's a difference. Religion is a piety and a reverence towards God. It's got some traditions like our communion, our gathering, our assembly, right? That's okay. It took me a while to finally go, why am I always irritated when I hear certain preachers talk about religion? Because they're not going after the spirit, they're going after the person and their traditions or their activities in the Christian community, and I don't agree with that. We have things. We just did Passover, not because we're Jewish, not because we're under the law, but because we're looking for Jesus to come, right? We want to know the signs and the times when Jesus comes. So we partook just to look. We do communion because Jesus said, do this all the time in remembrance of me. He didn't say do this all the time and be religious about it. Remember him. What are we remembering? I don't know about y'all, but I'm remembering what I was delivered from. A religious spirit is infectious. 1 minute you're worshiping with a true heart and a spirit, and then suddenly the whirlwind of religion sweeps into the atmosphere with accusations and condemnation. Ever been there? All of a sudden you're in church and you get some kind of vile image in your thoughts or vile words that come up, and you're like, just start to feel bad, feel condemnation. The preacher's giving you a word, and all of a sudden you feel terrible. That's a religious spirit, unless it's the preacher trying to make you feel bad, which is not likely. We tend to come up under those accusations of condemnation when the enemy's still lurking around through specific spirits, in this case, religious spirit. Religion is the belief and practices in a context of belief of supernatural powers. That's one definition. Another way to define the word religion is what one does, hear me, what one does to placate spirits or how one worships. So are we worshiping or placating? And I'm just going to let you sit on that for a minute. Because there is a difference. When a person believes that they must look and act a certain way on the outside, they pacify the spirit of religion. I know people who are bound in churches that have to dress a certain way. I'm sure you all know certain people like that. There's no freedom in that. And Peter C. Wagner has a book that says, the book is Freedom from the Religious Spirit. And he says in this book, I have come to the conclusion that the spirit of religion is an agent of Satan assigned to prevent change, super important, and maintain the status quo by using religious devices. And I'm going to give you some of those, okay? So I'm going to say this again. The spirit of religion is an agent of Satan assigned to prevent change and to maintain the status quo by using religious devices. You see, if you think you're doing everything right, if you think you already know everything, you're not going to change, right? If you're obese and you don't believe it because you're satisfied with what you see, you're not going to eat healthy. I could go on and on with all kinds of scenarios like that. If you're blinded by a spirit of religion, you think you're good. And yet Jesus said, no one is good except the Father.